Hey there and welcome back. My brother was recently remarried. He married a lovely young lady, and she's got an upcoming birthday. Now, my brother did the right thing. He reached out to me. He commissioned me to make her something special. Jenny, happy birthday. I hope you enjoy this as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. Let's get into this. Got some nice quarter-sawn sycamore here, along with some purple heart. I'm gonna get these taped together with some double-sided tape. I just picked up this Gorilla tape. I hope it works. All right, I'm gonna do my best to follow that line. We know how that goes. Now before I can glue those up, I'm going to cut down some of this cherry to make a thin strip. I've got my thin rip jig set up in place. If you don't have one of these, they're very, very convenient. I think I got this off of Amazon for like 15 bucks. So I've got my 2 strips ready to go. I was worried about this tape not sticking. It sticks. Now I'll get this thing out of the clamps, run it across the joiner and through the planer to get it flat again.
Hours later.
All right, now that these are flat and straight, I'm gonna start cutting them to size here. Now I'm going to route the channel for the bottom of the box. Got a 1/4 inch straight bit in there. Let's do this. All right, now before I can get this assembled, I'm going to sand everything. I'm going to start with 80 grit and go up to probably 180. I don't remember where I learned this tape technique for gluing up boxes, but I'm thankful I did because it makes life much easier. All right, this glue up's going to be pretty stressful. I got to get it glued together, got to keep it square, got to keep it flat. This will be the piece for the lid. I really like the way this quarter sawn sycamore looks. Very cool. I'm going to do an inlay in here using a technique that I've never actually done before. So we're going to see how it goes. Let's go for it. This one's going to take about an hour and a half. Alright, now we're going to get to work on the male piece, the plug. This toolpath will take about an hour and a half, and oh boy am I going to be bitter if it doesn't fit the way it's supposed to. Alright, that bit did all the fine detail work. Now it's time to get rid of all of this. This toolpath will also take about an hour. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get this glued up. I did a test fit, and it does fit. How well it fits, we're going to find out tomorrow. We get this thing out of the clamps, send it through the planer, and we'll see how we did. I made this jig to cut splines on the table saw, but I want the splines to be a little bit thicker. I got a 1/4 inch bit in my router here. I'm going to give this a try. Hopefully it'll work out because, well, this would be a costly mistake if something goes wrong.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
You guys silly? I'm still gonna send it.
Alright, at this point I'm going to send this through the drum sander here and get it all nice and smooth. These thin lines I was able to get inlaid with that tapered.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Tapered ball nose bit is really remarkable. I'm very pleased with that. At this point, I'm going to glue the top one. I'm going to use glue very conservatively here. I don't want a bunch of squeeze out, especially on the inside. I'm going to let that sit while I go to work. Then we'll start cleaning everything up.
One eternity later.
All right, I'm gonna get this thing out of the clamps, get it over to the router, use a flush trim bit to get everything nice and flush. I guess that's an appropriately named bit. Got a round over bit set up in here. I'm gonna round over the edges on the top and then all 4 corners. Now I'm going to cut the top of this off, which is always a nerve-wracking process. Got some pretty significant bumps here that are going to have to be sanded, and sanded by hand, which is never fun. Now I could totally sand this with my orbital sander and it would take 3 seconds, but it would not be flat and even, and there would be gaps that would be visible. So I got 2 sheets of 80 grit sandpaper. I got to do it by hand, and it's going to take forever. So. All right, at this point, I'm going to start finish sanding. Going to use the laser here to put my logo on the bottom before I put the hinges and all that stuff on there. Next up, I got this small hook latch for boxes. I don't like putting screws into Purple Heart. It is so hard and so dense, it often breaks the screws. I'm going to be very gentle and pray that doesn't happen here, because that causes a lot of headaches. It would totally be just my luck to have a screw break, like when I'm this close to being done. Nice. No broken screws. Well, yet. So I've got this leftover, so I'm going to cut little risers here, maybe that tall. I saw a video a little bit ago from Matt over at 731 Woodworks. If you guys don't know him, I mean, I don't know him, but I watch his videos. You should check him out. He makes great stuff. He did a review on this Wen miter gauge. Generally, I think Wen is, well, let's be honest, it's just shit most of the time. He was impressed with this miter gauge, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm impressed with it too. It is solid as a rock. I really like it a lot. So for the price, I don't think you can beat this thing. Really do not want squeeze out here, so I'm just putting a little bit in the middle here. And the CA glue will act as a clamp. Now I'm going to laser in a special message for the inside of the lid. All right, now that I've got this in here, I need to get it glued in. I got these little blocks here to help me center it. Hopefully it'll stay put. All right, next up, I've got these super cool brass feet for the bottom here. I'm gonna go ahead and install them. Then we're gonna get this thing oiled up. That sucks. As I was saying earlier, Purple Heart is known to break screws. All right, now I'm going to get some finish on this thing. I'm going to start on the bottom and work my way up and in. Despite me putting some oil right in the middle, I'm going to try and keep the bottom as oil-free as possible, only because I'm going to be lining it with felt. Now I want to line the bottom of this with felt as self-stick. So first I gotta sand off this oil, so that's what I'm working on now. This little Milwaukee detail sander is fantastic, by the way. Actually, went pretty good.